Hey everyone, it's Aisha and welcome back to my channel. After a month off, I am so excited to be back and making content for you guys. And today I'm going to take a little bit of a different direction than I have in the past in my content. So I posted a video about my credit journey a couple months ago, and the video did really well. I detailed out how I was able to successfully request a goodwill adjustment and was able to raise my credit score by 100 points in a very short amount of time. Like I said, I saw that video did really well and a lot of people were seeking out that kind of information. So I wanted to create a more comprehensive video kind of talking about all sides of credit and how you're able to improve your credit score very quickly. While credit seems like it's a totally different topic than real estate, credit is super important in being able to secure the mortgage loans that you want and just being able to set yourself up for success financially. Even if you're not trying to just be real estate focused, credit helps you secure a better apartment and helps you secure basically any type of loan that you're looking for in life. It's really hard to go through life without taking out at least one loan, whether it's for school or for a house, for your car, for your business, or a personal loan for anything that may come down your way. And with that, your credit score will help you secure a loan with low interest and great terms. There are a lot of things that go into your credit report and your credit score. So if you've made a mistake in the past and you're looking to move forward, but your credit score is holding you back, there are a number of ways that you can actually improve your score within a really short amount of time. And it's important to stay on top of your credit, so you should be checking it periodically. I actually have my credit score provided to me through mint.com. It's a great comprehensive tool to link all of your accounts, and it helps you, save up, it helps you budget, it helps you track all of your expenses, and it also provides your credit score free once a month. On top of your credit score, you should know what's on your credit report, and you are able to download your free credit report from each of the 3 credit bureau agencies, which are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So make sure to go over your report to see what's actually going into your credit score. See if you have late payments or any accounts in collections. This is also where you can see how many different credit accounts you have opened up, what type of accounts they are, and if you are making those payments. So now that you have all your credit information, let's get into the 5 major ways that you can improve your credit score fast. Before we jump in, be sure to hit the like button as it helps how my content performs, and I would really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to my channel if you're interested in topics like real estate and rental properties, especially if you're a beginner, as well as information on personal finance. So with that, let's jump right in. Number 1 is getting mistakes removed. Mistakes on credit reports actually happen more often than you would think. One of the biggest ways that a mistake can be on your credit report is if you've had your identity stolen. There may be accounts on there that you don't recognize and that you have never opened yourself. Some of those things can linger, so the best thing to do is to make sure that you're familiar with all the accounts on your report and look for anything else that may look off, that looks like something that you have not personally opened. You can then dispute these mistakes with the credit bureau agencies as well as the lenders of those accounts and provide the information to show that you weren't the ones to open that account. So number 2 is removing late payments. I have personal experience with removing a late payment. If you're interested in hearing the full story and how I was able to do that, you can check out the video that I have linked in the description below. So there are 2 major ways that you can remove a late payment. First, it could have been a mistake made on the side of the company and not yourself. If it was on the side of the company, then you can submit a dispute to the company and through the credit bureau agencies to get that removed. Mistakes made by the company can show up in forms of like you had the account paid off and they still marked you as a late payment later on, or you submitted the payment in time and they didn't process it in time. Those kind of things are considered a mistake by the company. The second type of late payment is a late payment that you did and was your responsibility. And so this one is a little bit more tricky because when you make a mistake, it is technically your fault and your responsibility. But again, sometimes companies will be a little bit more forgiving, again, if it's some sort of extenuating circumstance. In this case, appealing that late payment is called a goodwill adjustment, and there are a number of templates that you can find online to customize to your specific scenario that you can submit to your lender. Again, this isn't always guaranteed, but it's better to try than to not try. And as soon as you get a late payment, it's better to apply for that as quick as possible because the longer you wait, the less likely the chance that the creditor will approve that goodwill adjustment. So after removing late payments, a third way that you can raise your credit score fast is to pay down debt. A big thing that goes into your credit score is your debt utilization. So if you do have a chunk of change and you're needing your credit score to be higher, pay off some of those higher debt accounts and you will notice a big change in your credit score. So the company that calculates one of the most widely used type of credit scores, it's called a FICO score. They say it's best practice to keep your debt utilization under 30%. So debt utilization is basically when you take out a credit card and they give you a credit limit, it's how much of that credit limit you're using. And so this is added up by the total amount of however many credit cards and credit lines that you have. The lower that you can keep your credit utilization, the better. It will definitely make a big difference in your score. So if you aren't able to pay down high debt, number 4 is actually a workaround of that. So like we said, credit score is based a lot on credit utilization, which means how much of your credit limit that you're actually using. So if you are unable to pay down the amount of debt that you have, you can always increase your credit limit. This is like a very great easy hack that a lot of people don't know about. So for example, if you have a credit card and the company provided you with a $2,000 credit limit and you use $1,000 of that, you are already at 50% credit utilization. And remember, we said it's best to keep it 30% or below. However, if you call into your credit card company and ask for that limit to be increased to $5,000, a lot of the times they will say yes, as long as you've been responsible with paying your credit card on time. So let's say they raise that limit to $5,000 and let's say you still have that $1,000 balance on your card, but now you're using $1,000 of the $5,000, which is 20%, which is way less than the 50%, and it'll actually make a difference in your credit score, and your credit score will rise because you're using less than 30% of your credit. See how that works? It's actually pretty crazy, and again, you don't really change how much you're spending. You still have spent that $1,000, but on paper, it just looks way better. So write into your credit card companies and request an increase in your credit limit and see what they say. Number 5 is negotiating any debts that you already may have in collections. Once your debts hit collections, it will take a huge hit on your credit score. You will see a major dip, but there are ways to salvage that. Your credit score improves when you are able to pay off debts. So if you have debts in collections, those credit companies are still looking for some sort of payment. They are getting close to writing off your debts as a loss, so they are pretty much willing to accept partial payments at that point, just depends on how much. So if you do have a debt in collections, be sure to call in and negotiate and see if they will be able to take a partial payment in exchange for them marking that debt as paid off. A lot of times they just want something rather than nothing, so you can get away with paying 75% to 80% of what you actually owed, and sometimes you can even pay less than 75%. Again, they care more about recouping at least some of the money than none, so just explain your situation, explain how much you would be able to pay, and then ask them if you're able to pay that, if they will mark your debt as paid off. And before you go, it's important to know not only how to raise your credit score, but how to maintain it at that point. So make sure you keep paying your bills on time. If you get late payments, remember it will affect your credit score negatively. Also remember to be careful about closing old accounts, because closing accounts actually will take a hit on your account even if it's a zero balance, which is crazy, it's silly, but just remember to keep those accounts open. A third thing is just to remember to not open too many new accounts unless necessary. If you're trying to raise your credit score, it means you're probably trying to be approved for some sort of loan, so you probably are about to open a new account, but don't open frivolous accounts before that because it will affect your credit score. And those credit inquiries will stay on your account for up to 2 years. And if you have a lot of inquiries, it will negatively affect your credit score. So it's just best to, again, only open accounts when necessary, and then after you have an account open, keep it open even if it's paid off. I know a lot of those things seem counterintuitive, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because credit can be a little bit more complicated than it seems on the surface. I hope that this was helpful for you guys and that you're able to improve your credit score and set yourself up for success in the future. Because that is what this channel is all about, is just setting ourselves up, learning, and providing ourselves the ability to achieve financial freedom and just financial independence. If you want to follow me on that journey as I go through it and provide tips and tricks and all types of advice that I'm also learning as I go, be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you have a really cool story about how you were able to improve your credit score really quickly, let me know in the comments below. I love hearing you guys' success stories. And again, if you found this information helpful, please hit the like button. And with that, that is all I have for you guys today. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon.